always right. No, I'll stop saying that, I promise. But it is a rather short-sighted way of thinking because people are not really looking at what's going to occur in 2021, and I think it's probably going to be pretty exciting. Hopefully in a more positive light than what we've seen this year, but it's important too not to lose sight of all the good things that did come about in 2020, even if a lot of those things came about because of systematic failure. So I'm going to talk about the transits in your sign throughout the year. Obviously not the sun sign, because most of you probably know when the sun is going to be in Taurus if you're watching this. But I will talk about the new moon and full moon in your sign, and the other planetary transits that will be occurring throughout the year. So the new moon is going to be in your sign on May 11th, and then the full moon is going to be in your sign on November 19th, and that's important to note because there will also be a lunar eclipse occurring at that time, so that's very exciting. Mark down November 19th on your calendar if you are interested in lunar eclipses in your sign. So, the main thing that's occurring, that has been occurring all of this year as well, is that Uranus is still in your sign, and it will be retrograde from January 1st through the 13th, and then it will be retrograde again starting August 20th until the end of 2021. So if you noticed anything in particular about the Uranus retrogrades this year, you can expect more of the same in 2021. Good heavens, I'm so sorry. My stomach and I have been fighting. You know that that's something that happens to me quite a bit, I'm sure. So another placement is Mars will be in your sign from January 7th until March 5th. And you know Mars is a very impetuous, passionate, can be violent sometimes, energy. We have Venus in your sign from April 15th until May 10th. And Ceres will be in your sign from May 9th until August 1st. Now, Ceres and Venus are a little bit similar, but they're not quite the same. Venus is more like the passionate, romantic side of relationships, and Ceres can be more like the trying side of relationships, the things that we all need to work on together. And then Mercury is going to be in your sign from April 20th until May 5th. And Mercury, of course, being about communication, short-term travel plans, and things like that. Anything moving around, it's kind of a swift energy as well. right here in my hands. If you can zoom way in, you can see it in the mirror behind me. So the first card is the astrology card, and you have the 10th house. So if some of you who are sun or moon signs have Taurus in your 10th house, or if some of you have Capricorn in your 10th house, if Aries is your rising sign, you would have Capricorn in your 10th house. Then you're looking at a lot of career-minded things here in January. That's going to be true for all Taurus, Sun, Moon, and even Rising. But there's going to be an emphasis on this. Possibly if you have Capricorn in your 10th house. Starting out with the High Priestess. The High Priestess is moon energy. It's all about hidden things, hidden knowledge, possibly coming to light, using hidden knowledge to your benefit. Having an understanding that gives you an advantage. We also have the Queen of Wands here. Queen of Wands. So, some of you might have major placements that are fire energy. Queen of Wands can also be somebody in your life who is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And the Queen of Wands energy is water of fire. So that could also be somebody who has both water and fire major placements in their chart. Doesn't necessarily have to be a woman, though. I want to point that out. Queen of Wands is somebody who's very confident. This could even be you. The High Priestess holding all the answers, and that being a source of confidence for you. We have the Hierophant and Taurus. This is actually your card. Now, the Hierophant can be about marriage. The Hierophant can also be about being a spiritual leader to others. And as far as the 10th house is concerned, it looks like you act as an advisor to people in your day-to-day life. You could be in the clergy, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. The Hierophant does provide guidance. As part of his job. And from a moral standpoint, from the moral high ground, so it's possible that's the energy that you're bringing to this situation in January. We have the Five of Wands coming out. Now the Five of Wands is about, you can see this woman is being attacked by these small people. And they are being so relentless. This can be about rivalries. It can also be about feeling attacked. We have the Empress coming out. So we have a lot of strong feminine archetypal energy. We did get the High Priestess and the Hierophant, so I feel like in January especially, you are going to be exploring your spirituality, being a very spiritual person in the realm of your career of your spiritual gifts in the workplace. Finally, we have, so the Empress is flanked on both sides by this Five of Wands, which speaks of trouble with others, and this Eight of Pentacles, which in the initiatory tarot of the Golden Dawn is specifically about avoiding some kind of present danger. You can see that this woman is in danger of treading upon a serpent that could bite her. A dangerous, poisonous snake. So, while you are elevating yourself within the workplace, I feel like others might not be following your lead. Next, we have February, and here we're talking about your Saturn return. This has to do with the 27 Club. The 27 Club, those are people who do not make it to their first Saturn return. If you have made it past your first Saturn return, then this is a reminder about the maturation of that energy. It's possible that some of you are going through your Saturn return this year. Now, I believe, let me check. Saturn is in Aquarius this year. It's been in Capricorn during the year of 2020, but in 2021 it will be in the sign of Aquarius. So that's good to know. We have Two of Cups in reverse. This can be a partnership on the rocks, or it can be a partnership pending that has not come into your sphere of influence yet. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. Now, this could be you, or this could be the person who will be coming in. And it's possible that they are somebody, because you have the Saturn return card coming out. It could be somebody that you already know, but your relationship is going to change because of some kind of newfound maturity on either your part or their part. We also have this King of Wands energy. So it's possible that this is the same person. I know it seems very antithetical, but it's possible that this person is going to have both fire and water in prominent placements. And it could even be that, let's see. The Queen of Cups is Pisces, and then the King of Cups there's not a specific animal on here to tell me, but it could be Aries Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius in their chart, and then also Pisces in their chart. Or it could be that one of you brings this masculine energy that's very fiery, and the other person brings this very... Queen of Cups is water of water, and King of Wands is air of fire. So those could be the energies that, like the Queen of Cups is very flexible, very loving, very romantic type energy. And also possibly has psychic gifts. So this could be talking about a future relationship. It could also be talking about an evolution of self, going from being harsh, the King of Wands, and possibly overly aggressive with people, to being the Queen of Cups and being very nurturing and tender. So that's a possibility for some of you as well. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups coming out again. We have the Knight of Wands coming out this time. So this is definitely the energy coming out, is there's a Queen of Cups in the situation, and there's either a King or a Knight of Wands in the situation, which is very hot-blooded, intense, fiery energy. Knight of Wands is fire of fire, so the most fire you can get. Whereas King of Wands is air of fire, which means that the fire is receiving oxygen to fuel it. We also have the Four of Pentacles here in February, which it's in the reverse, and it could be a caution to start putting money aside in February, because it is in the reverse. It's possible that you will need money later, and that in February either you will wish that you had put money aside before, or that you will need to start saving money in February. Let's look now at March. March. We have the fourth house, which is about your roots, but it's also about your home and your household unit, whether that includes family or roommates or friends that live with you. Notice I made a distinction there between friends that live with you and roommates. We've got some pentacles coming out. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles, which is about a lot of hard work being required for a payoff. But we do have the Ace of Pentacles, which means that there could be something that in order for you to start it, you're going to need to put in a lot of work, but that it's a promising beginning. That would also make sense with this Four of Pentacles in the reverse that we're seeing at the end of February, that you want to put money away because it might require some capital to get this started. Fourth house. If you have Pisces in your fourth house, pay extra attention. Or if Taurus is your sun or moon sign and it is in the fourth house, the meaning could be slightly different for you. The Eight of Pentacles is coming out here in the reverse. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is somewhat of a completion in that it is finding your career path. But it's in the reverse here, which means that there's a progression happening. We have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. The Ace of Pentacles is we have the Seven of Pentacles coming out, but it's actually upright, which is better because it just means that you're going to need to put in a lot of hard work. We have the Ace of Pentacles upright, and then that Eight of Pentacles in the reverse lets you know that whatever this venture is that you begin in March, you're going to be on the right path. Now, because we're looking at the 4th house, right? This could also be something that allows you to spend more time at home. So whether you are working from home while you do this, or whether it is something that you have to spend less time away from your home to do it, could be one of those situations as well. The Prince of Pentacles. So we also have the Prince of Pentacles coming out. And in this case, this could have to do with the Prince being heir of Earth. That the Prince is providing the impetus to get started with this financial venture. And this could be you, actually, because Taurus is an earth sign. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It is the energy that you're bringing to the situation, whether that energy is masculine or feminine, and you want to be bringing this young and go-getting energy to your new money situation, because the Seven of Pentacles, I know I've been talking about it a lot. You're going to need to put extra energy into getting this thing off the ground. We have the Seven of Wands here too, which is about feeling like you're under attack from all sides. On this card, actually, he's tied up, right? So, feeling restricted, feeling bound on all sides. But that is sometimes how people feel when they're starting something new and they have to work really hard on it. And then finally, for the month of March, we have the Prince of Wands, and the Prince of Wands in this deck is heir of fire. And so the air fuels the fire. I know I just said that King of Wands is heir of fire too. You can look into Book T some more if you want. I'll put a video link here probably, because the initiatory tarot of the Golden Dawn uses a slightly different system. And I don't know if I fully explain it in that video, but basically the kings and the princes are the air energy, queens are water, knights are fire, and then the pages and princesses are earth. They all correspond to different elements. Now, this Prince of Wands could be energy that you are projecting into the future. So you start out as this Prince of Pentacles here in March, and then further down the road, your energy is going to build, and you're going to end up projecting more like a Prince of Wands energy. It's also possible that this person, for some of you, is someone involved in your home life, and maybe they're not supportive of this venture that you're beginning, and it's causing you to feel trapped, which is why you would have the Seven of Wands there. But that's going to be different for all of you. now at April. Some of you are going to have birthdays in April. I think at the very end of the month. And in April we have Gemini. So if you have Gemini in your chart, that's going to come out in April, possibly. Gemini, I think Gemini is about communication, and it's about ideas and sharing ideas and short distance travel. We have the Two of Pentacles coming out, which is balance, but because it's in the reverse, possibly you are working on reaching an equilibrium. We have Strength coming out, also in the reverse. It seems like a certain amount of this is potential energy building up in the month of April so far. Strength is about having the fortitude, in this case, to see your plans through. And we also have the Fool. Now, a lot of times the Fool is about not looking before you leap, because you want to have a certain lack of preconceived notions going into something so that you don't block yourself from doing something because you think that it's going to go poorly. In this case, I think that you are experienced enough with all of these different things that you're going to be working toward that you aren't going to have to go into this sight unseen. You already know what you're doing. So we have Justice also coming out. Now, this is interesting because the Justice card and the Strength card are often, their positions are often flipped number-wise in the deck, so that sometimes Justice is 11 and sometimes Strength is 11. In this case, it could be that at some point you will see justice for something in which you've been wronged. If you have any pending court cases, do your best to settle them up before April comes around. Take initiative if you feel like you're going to be in legal trouble, because the card coming out in the reverse like this might be legal trouble in April. Now, I'm really not getting a strong read on that, so it's possible that it's more about, because this Two of Pentacles, the Strength card, and then Justice kind of being grouped all together, it's possible that these things are something that you're going to be working toward in April. And it's all tied to this situation that you're setting up for yourself. Because we do also have the Magician here in the upright, which is all about manifestation for a positive result for you. You creating your own destiny. But then indeed, something to watch out for. We have the Devil card coming out in the reverse, and this can be about vices getting the better of you. And vices can be, drink or drug or sexual misconduct, but it can also be about letting things control you. And that can be anything. That can be, I don't know how many of you remember the game Farmville. I remember when people would get so obsessed with Farmville that they were killing each other over it. It's a very dark time. But you can become that obsessed with just about anything. So just keep that to heart. let's look at the month of May. Now, if you don't have an April birthday, you most certainly have a May birthday if you are a Taurus sun sign. And here we have the North Node. The North Node is all about your life's purpose. And it's interesting that we just got Gemini right before that. This is something that I would not have addressed in your video otherwise, but the North Node is going to be in Gemini all of 2021. North Node is also, I think, linked to the head and tail of the dragon. The first card we have coming out here is the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups can be about having to leave something that is almost finished. So this could be a project. It could be, for some of you, it might be that this project that you start early in the year, while it has a very promising beginning, for whatever reason, at some point you have to put it aside for whatever, like anything can happen. And so even though this venture might be very promising for some of you, you might have to do something else. Or inversely, it could be that this takes off in a big way, and then you end up having to quit a day job or something like that. We do have the Empress in reverse coming out, and the Empress actually is governed by Venus, and Venus is native to your sign and also native to Libra. So I always think of Empress as being one of Taurus's cards, even though technically speaking the Hierophant is much more your card. The Empress card here in the reverse, it could be that there is a creative project that hasn't come in yet, or this could be related to having to abandon a creative endeavor. And it's possible that the creative endeavor is tied up in all of this, but isn't the totality of that situation. It could just be, instead of like a total 180, it could be more like you have to veer off to the side and head off at a slightly different angle rather than completely change your trajectory. We have the Hanged Man coming out here too, which could be about sacrifice. It can also be about feeling like you're in stasis. So it's possible that here in the month of May, you're looking at your life's purpose, and you're looking at this thing that you've started early in the year, or possibly late in 2020. And you're evaluating all these things, and kind of taking a step back for a moment to evaluate. We have another Two of Pentacles coming out in the reverse. So to me, that says that you still have not been able to obtain a balance. We've got Two of Pentacles coming out in the reverse in April, and we have it coming out again in May. So there's something still out of balance for you in May. And emphasizing that again and really reiterating that point is that the Temperance card has come out in the reverse too. And the Devil card comes right after Temperance. So there's kind of almost a reverse progression here, to where here with the Devil card, things might really be getting out of hand for you, but you're able to rein it in somewhat because of this evaluation of your life purpose. And so the Temperance card showing up in reverse while it's not ideal and you're still not in balance, you're making steps in the right direction. And finally, we have the 10 of Cups. Now the 10 is a completion. And Cups is about emotional states. So this could be about a relationship coming to a very, it's in the upright, so it's probably not like a breakup, but you've gotten to a place with a relationship where you know where it's going from here, or you're getting married, or you have both decided like what your relationship is going to look like. Now, things do evolve and change over time, and relationships are no different, but it could be the kind of thing where somebody who is in your life part-time decides to become full-time in your life. Or it could also be about you and this person establishing like the boundaries of what your time together is going to look like. And now we're headed into June. We have the fire element, desire. So if you have fire in your chart, this is going to be important. We have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is air energy, water of air. So, like the mist or a fog, but not like that really. A communicator could be an air sign with water in their chart, and could be a Gemini. Doesn't have to be a woman, can be also somebody who just has feminine energy, or somebody who is not so much like a gossip, but spills the tea more like, because gossip energy is more like Queen of Wands energy, but the Queen of Swords is someone who has a lot of information and is a powerful communicator. We also have the Nine of Swords, which is all about nightmares. But the thing about the Nine of Swords is that it's more illusion than truth. So these things are keeping you up at night, but they don't actually exist. We have the Prince of Pentacles. This again could be you here in June, bringing the energy forward from March of the Prince of Pentacles. This could be a resumption of this project from the early part of the year. So it's possible that the Eight of Cups means that you put the project aside for the month of May, but then resume it in June. That's a possibility for some of you. Because here we have the Hanged Man, but now he's in the reverse. So because we had the Hanged Man here in May in the upright, and here in June he's in the reverse, to me that says that whatever that issue was, whether it was a sacrifice you needed to make in order to learn, or whether it was a period of stasis that you put yourself in so that you could find your purpose. I think that now, moving into June, we've got the fire element and desire, and perhaps you are resuming this project. We have the Nine of Cups showing up in the reverse, and this is the wish fulfillment card, and it being in the reverse here, I think is a very good omen, but for the future. So obviously whatever this project is, it's not going to be completed to satisfaction in June, but because the Prince of Pentacles is coming back also have the Eight of Swords coming out. And again, this is about feeling trapped. So back here in March, you had the Seven of Wands and this Prince of Wands. And that's like an energy of feeling trapped. And then here at this point, you have the Eight of Swords and the Queen of Swords. And this is also kind of about being trapped, so I don't know if the Prince of Wands is your energy or if that's somebody else kind of telling you, like, I don't think that you can do this. And then this Queen of Swords coming back around and saying, I don't think you can do this. I don't know if that's the energy that is bringing you into this place where you feel trapped, but it kind of seems like there are people, and it could even be aspects of your own personality coming out. Like if you are acting as the Prince of Wands and you're coming on too strong and you're being harsh with people, that could trap you in some ways, just as being the Queen of Swords energy and being too detached could then hurt you in some other ways. And because you haven't been able to find balance here in April and May, it seems like that is a possibility for some of you as well. Let's look at July. We have the planet Mars, which is force. So, July is Cancer and Leo energy. So maybe you have a Mars in either Cancer or Leo. But Mars can also be about excessive force, being passionate but overdriven, being belligerent. And we do here have the Prince of Swords coming out in the reverse. And in this deck, that Prince of Swords is actually fire of air. And he's got like a little Aquarius pin on his ascot. So this person could be an Aquarius. This could be a naysayer in your midst. It could be energy that you're putting out there of cutting other people down for your own purposes. We have the Three of Swords coming out. So that's definitely fighting with other people. And Mars energy definitely speaks to that. But we also have the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is your ships are coming in. You can see them on the horizon and they are on their way to you. This Four of Cups in the reverse. This could be about options drying up, but it could also be about options coming in the future. So we'll have to see as we pull more cards if it looks like more options are opening up to you. We do have the World card coming out. World card, which is about the world being your oyster. You can kind of see around her is this circle of pearls. She can have anything that she wants. And then finally we have for July the Two of Swords, and that's about a choice as well. So the Four of Cups and the Two of Swords being reversed, it either means that a choice has been taken away from you or that a choice is coming in the future. So let's look further. Let's look further into the month of August. Now we have the lunar eclipse mentioned here. Now, there is not a lunar eclipse happening in August, but you have a lunar eclipse in your sign, November 19th, which will be your full moon. So this could be something that starts here in August and is a change that progresses from August to November. The Emperor is coming out in the reverse. This could be a tendency toward being totalitarian and possibly very dictatorial. You could be laying down too many edicts, or this could be somebody expressing that energy towards you, especially like if this Prince of Wands or Queen of Swords or this other Prince of Swords over here, if that doesn't represent you, if that represents another person, I think this Emperor is the same person as all of those other cards. And I really feel strongly that you are definitely represented by the Prince of Pentacles energy in this reading. But as to whether you are the Emperor energy here or not depends on how you are comporting yourself in these situations. It could be you or it could be another person. We have the Five of Wands here. And again, that's about fighting, infighting, rivalry, stuff like that. The Six of Cups in the reverse. That's telling you not to look to the past, but to look to the future. We have the Sun card coming out in the reverse, and that, to me, definitely means that good things are going to come in for you, but it's not going to be in the month of August necessarily. We have here the Three of Cups too, and this could be about some very strong and close friendships. Three of Cups is the first completion to where it's possible that you have reached a certain level of emotional contentment. And then we have the Princess of Swords coming out, this time in the upright. So it could be that your energy has shifted from being the Queen of Swords through being the Prince of Swords in reverse, and now you're showing up for yourself or for others as the Princess of Swords. So it could also be that you're no longer trying to be the Emperor as well. It could be that instead you're trying to be more like the Princess of Swords, who has a lot of ideas that she brings in. Or it could just be that you're surrounding yourself with better people in August. Let's look at September. We have the water element, which is about sensing. Water is very emotional, and if you have water in your chart, look at where that is. We have the Four of Wands coming out, and the Four of Wands is about happiness, and fours are also a completion. Everything's a completion. Four's a completion, two's a completion, three's a completion. No, I'm just kidding. The main ones are 3, 4, 9, and 10. So that's not that difficult. And then sometimes 8 is like the penultimate leading up to those completions. Speaking of 9, we have the Nine of Pentacles coming out. So 4 of Wands and 9 of Pentacles coming out together like this. I think there is a happy outcome in the future for you, but that in September things are still kind of nebulous and watery. We do have as well. So there's going to be some kind of reckoning that you have to go through in order to reach your final rewards. Yes. Okay, so this card actually jumped out, and it is the Nine of Swords in the reverse. Now, it could be that you're letting your nightmares take control of your waking life, but it could also be that all the misgivings and troubled ideology that you had before has now gone by the wayside and isn't a problem for you anymore. We have the Three of Swords coming out again. There's a lot of conflict going on in this second part of the year so far, but victory is coming eventually. We do have the Six of Wands coming out, so I'm seeing a lot of cards of conflict and trouble, but I'm also seeing a lot of cards of success, but success around the corner. Alright, Taurus, here we are in the home stretch. We've made it all the way to October of 2021. So, here we have Pluto, which is transformation. Now, Pluto is going to be in Capricorn pretty much all of 2021, just like it has been all of 2020. If you have Capricorn in your chart somewhere, Taurus, it might be interesting to look at that, or look at where your Pluto is. Pluto is a planet about transformation, and kind of also always in a state of simultaneously being and not being. Think of Pluto as Schrodinger's planet. Is it dead or is it alive? Here we have the Six of Pentacles. This is all about generosity. It's about being in a position where you can take care of your friends if you need to. We have the Two of Swords in the reverse coming out here again. So, it could be that there's a decision looming. Remember, we had the Two of Swords in the reverse here in July. Or it could be that, again, there's a decision that gets taken away from you. We have the Five of Swords here, and the Five of Swords is having to do with a victory, but it's a victory at the expense of a friendship. And because it's here in the reverse, we do have victory here in September. It might have to do with that, or it might be what has closed off your decision with the Two of Swords in the reverse. Or these things could have not yet come to pass. We have the Ten of Wands here as well, which is about oppression and about burdens that you are forced to carry. We have the Knight of Swords, so this could be the knight that we've seen before, but this is also fire of air. So, an energy of this fire being stoked by pure oxygen. That kind of energy, the Knight of Swords. Then, the action behind ideas, putting ideas into practice. Not as much about the creativity, but more about the analytical side of ideas. And here we have the Ace of Swords. So there's a lot of swords here in October, but because Pluto is saying transformation and the Ace of Swords is also saying transformation. Ace of Swords is change, whether it is upright or in the reverse. And the Knight of Swords might be you carrying through with what you know to be the case Nice. Alright. November. So we're getting the 12th house for November. If you have Scorpio or Sagittarius in your 12th house, this could be referring to you specifically, but it's referring to Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising in general as well. We have the Hermit in reverse. The Hermit is about self-care. It is about spiritual progression of the self. But in the reverse here, you could just be hiding yourself away from the world and avoiding your problems. We also have the Devil coming out in reverse again. So whatever this unresolved issue was in April, it will be coming back up again. Whatever this unresolved issue was in April, it will be coming back up again. We've got the Princess of Swords, this time in the reverse. There's definitely a lot of swords energy around you in this reading. Early on in the year, it looked like it was more fire energy, but we reach a dividing line here in between March and April, where after that, it's mostly swords energy instead of wands energy. We've got a bunch of Prince of Swords, Princess of Swords, Queen of Swords, almost to the point that it even overtakes the Prince of Pentacles energy, so keep that in mind. We have the Two of Chalices. This could be a new romantic or emotional partnership. The 12th house being an ending. There could be a resolution to something in a relationship as well. We have the 10 of Pentacles, and this is showing up in the reverse. Remember that 10 is also an ending. That could be the end to a phase 1 of a project, or here in November, you could be seeing the end of a phase of a project, a completion occurring. The end in sight. We also have Judgment here. This could be being judged by others, whereas Justice is more like legal cases and what is right versus what is not right. Judgment is more like defending your thesis, or it could be seen as a trial by fire, being tested. So that is going to be your November. What could possibly come after an ending? Well, once this particular phase has ended, you will be free to express your creativity. We have here the 5th house. Again, look at what's in your 5th house. Maybe it is Sagittarius or Capricorn. And here, finally, at long last, we have the Chariot coming out here in the upright. We do have the Lovers in the reverse. So again, it looks like there's kind of like some ongoing unresolved issues that kind of are circling around you. Lovers, like I said, can be a choice, but it could also be a new relationship coming in the future. Or it's possible that in November, with all of the changes that were occurring, a relationship also ends. We get another Ace of Swords. There's really a lot of swords in this reading, Taurus. And that tells me that there's going to be a lot of ideas. There's also going to be a lot of conflict. But that you will have the power. You will be able to properly and effectively wield the power in your hand to affect positive change in your life. Here we have the Hermit upright. So the Hermit being in the reverse in November. It looks like in December you will be taking a retreat, a reprieve, possibly a sabbatical. We have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse here too. So there could be another beginning. The beginning of the next phase of the project is around the corner. So you're taking a break now in December, which is a good time to take a break because there's all these holidays coming up. And then we have the Tower, and it's in the reverse. And to me, that says a massive change coming in for you in 2022. Thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of the support. As soon as I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away 3 free readings. So if that hasn't happened yet, please do feel free to fill out the form and in the link in the description. I'm using a Google Doc form. That way you don't have to put your personal information in the comments section of the YouTube video. It can be kind of like the wild, wild west out there. I do try to vet my comments pretty harshly, actually, but in this case, I felt like it would be a good way to then also collect the information I would be already asking you, like natal stuff to put together your natal chart. So also, if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe, and if you have friends that you think would get something out of it, please feel free to pass it along to them. Thank you again. I know that 2020 has been kind of a rough year for a lot of us, but when things need to change, they will. And as much as it is tempting to write off 2020 as one of the craziest years of all time, it's important not to blind ourselves to the potential insanity that 2021 could bring. I really do deeply care about all of you, and I really do wish you the best. So please, enjoy the good vibes when you can, and I will see you again very, very